So, fellas, we should be live now. Let me just modify things a little bit here. Okay. Right. So, just to tell our friends, we're live streaming from Southwest Chess Camp in London. Yeah, with my colleague Tony Johansson. My name, myself, Soren chess coach, a bunch of kids here. We've got three different levels of expertise, so to speak. We got the beginners, we got the intermediates, and we've got the advanced. So we'll try to go through some ideas. Oh, there one of the notes is there. I need to ask them into front of the mobile again. Yeah, I can't do that. The guys. Seven, eight of okay. So my colleague Tony was very kind to actually allow me to using his mobile, so I can peruse through my personal content. All right, you guys. So you people are familiar with the rules of chess. You know how to move those pieces. You know how to deliver a checkmate. You know how to make a castle. You know the exceptions for castling if the king had been moved, if the rook had been moved, and stuff like that, right? All right. You guys, have you heard of, let's say, Mikhail Tal? Have you heard of the person? Yeah, he's considered like almost a magician. He's like an icon of chess. Like he was world chess champion in 1961, 1962. All right, so he's an incredibly creative chess player. Okay, so now we're gonna peruse through some of his games, some of his moves. We're gonna pause it and discuss together. Hey, you guys normally play Sicilian? Do you guys play Sicilian? Yeah. Okay. So let's go through some of the ideas. So what we're going to see now is a game that was played in 1961 in Riga. Mikhail Tal is in white. His opponent, Alexander Koblenz, plays with the black people. So let's have a look at this. Okay. So straight from the archive. Straight from the archive. So that's the Sicilian. All right. Okay. So everyone knows that. Not a big deal. Not a big surprise. Everyone is very familiar with it. All right. Now, the system we're going to look at and D6. So far, so good. So, guys, you're gonna be very much surprised because if you can't see, move a little bit to the other side. So, take your chair. You put stuff for you guys to see the board. You gotta see the board. You have to see it. Very important to see the board. Hey, move up there or this way or which way works best? That's it. Okay. Now, D4, striking in the center straight away. CD, CD, knight takes D. So far, so good. Normally, I would have used the whiteboard, but they don't have computer, they don't have smart boards, so I'm making use of the classical demo board now. So, okay, not a problem though, not a problem. I guess in 1961 they was doing exactly like we do now. So not a novel. Knight f6, attacking d4, right? Give me something good for white to play here. Give me something theoretical. Raise a hand. Give me something theoretical. Yeah, normally it's being played. There's not a huge philosophy. We're still within the normal realms of chess moving at this stage. So there's nothing incredibly newer. Yeah. Yeah, no, I see. Playing naturally defending the four against the black that want to take. So knight to c3. A6. Now a6, this is the move that marks the beginning of the Naidorf variation. You guys heard of the Naidorf variation in Sicilian? So this is it now. With a6, a7, a6, this is the Naidorf in the Sicilian. It does a couple of things, not just one. Takes the b5 from where the knight that wants to play or bishop that may want to play. But not just this, also prepares b7 to b5 to be played. And later on, perhaps some bishop to b7. All right? So keep this in mind as a general idea. E6 is preparing b5, further expanding, but also stopping white to placing pieces on b5. Oops, it was the code, man. What? 7805. Oh my lord. You gotta change it, man. After this lesson, you gotta change it. All right. Right. A6. Okay. So that's a very flexible move. Now, give me something good for white here. Something developing, something that attacks and develops. You get a piece of it starting square, moving. Say it again. No, white stud, by the way. I said A6, white stud. Say it again. Bishop C4. Okay, something else? Yeah, you could do the F3. Specific, then maybe if you want to play Bishop B3, Queen B2, maybe, maybe. And if you're planning to do G4 later on and pushing the H and stuff, you could. Something else? Something a piece of the queen side, something on the queen side if you want to play it. What are you playing now? Some piece on the queen side, yes. Yeah, you could play big. Nah, that's. I don't think it looks very good. I don't think so. If you want to develop this bishop, where that bishop might go. If you want to develop this guy, C1, what do you want to move in? Dude, you can't go on F3 unless you want to drop this. That's all right. That's all right. It's fine, man. It's okay. Yeah. Yeah, you can do it with F4. But if you want to develop this guy, what do you get? F4? What else? Where else can you go with the knight? Sorry, with the bishop. Apologies. So Mikhail Tal plays here bishop to g5. It's not it's a developing move, it's an attacking move. There's nothing wrong with that one. Bishop to g5. It's quite active. In principle, white may want to double up black's pawn onto the f5. If they want to make a trade, we'll give them double pawns on the f. In principle. E6. E6 again does a couple of things. It does a couple of things, the E6. First, it doesn't allow the knight D5 if you ever wanted to play that. So you can't do it now because of the pawn. All right, then if the bishop wants to take, you may have the option potentially to take back with the queen. You may have that thing. Okay, so you can recapture after bishop f6, you can recapture nicely with the queen. All right, so keep this one in mind, guys. Keep this one in mind. Okay, let's go further on. Now, E6 being played, H6. H6 is the question to the bishop. You need to decide if having the white pieces here, you need to decide what you want to do with that bishop. What do you want to do with the bishop? Do you want to capture? Do you want to run away? What exactly do you want to do with the bishop? Mikhail Tal here took bishop takes on f6. Bishop takes on f6. Let me see if I got this one correctly. E6 being played. Let me see. Okay. So bishop g5, e6, h6 could have been a possibility. It could have been, but it didn't happen. It didn't happen. So he goes quite aggressive with f4. Very aggressive. The king's pawn moving from the starting square. F2 to f4, developing. Very aggressive line, very sharp line. Bishop e7 breaking the pin. So always look for breaking the pin. Don't keep yourselves in a pin. Bishop e7 now. More idea. So to speak, bishop can take back, not a problem. And more developing, queen to f3. Queen to f3. He plays this one quite often. Queen to d1, queen to f3. Maybe you're gonna cuss along, by the way, because you guys notice white has played all the pieces in between. So now they're ready to cuss along. Okay, castle queen side. Queen c7. Very flexible square. Let me tell you something. When the queen goes to c7, we actually target the c file, and this is the square that actually is exactly in front of the king when they want to pass along. The queen is on this file here. And maybe together with some rooks in the future, there might be a battery attacking the c2 as well. Queen to c7. Now, castle long. So the king is safe. White almost finished the development, but not completely. Not completely. Knight e7, Koblenz now plays the knight on the back rank over to d7. Okay. So he continues the development. I don't want to miss this one. Now, he played something, mind you, that this is 1961. Of course, a better move here would be g4, but he can't play bishop to e2. From a human perspective, from a human point of view, he just wants to give right, bishop to e2 here. Okay. h6. h6 is the question that they want to put to the bishop. So they got to do something with that. How would you play with the bishop now, guys? Raise a hand and tell me what do you think? What are the options? Maybe not too many options, but let me just ask you. What might be the options that you can do now with regard to the bishop here? Raise hands. Yeah, you could go to h4. You could go to h4. Of course. Which is exactly what it did. Exactly what it did. Excellent stuff. Very good. He keeps the bishop on the board. He doesn't trade over right now. b5. b5 played. It's a counter-attack on the queen side. Okay. And e5 is being played now. Let me check actually. Give me a second. Give me a second. Yeah. Oh, give me a second. So what happened? Man, that's not my phone. Hold on a second. No, that's actually it's a sideline. Bear with me a second, guys. No, wait a minute. Because I think so bishop e4, castle long 1987, bishop e2, h6, bishop h4, b5, and e5. Tell me what this move does. Guys, have a look at the position. Tell me what does the move e5 do. What does that do? Tell me what does that do. e5. Tell me the threats. The threats that have been highlighted right here, right now, with e4 to e5. What are the threats? You tell me what can you see here? What's the threats? You've answered, yes. Say it again. Yes, it's two main threats here, guys. After e4 to e5, actually the queen here hits the red. That's one. And also the pawn here attacks the black knight on f6. So that's the stuff you gotta be aware. What do you think black plays? What do you think black plays? It's a very normal move. There's nothing wrong with that. There is absolutely nothing wrong. The boy at the back. Say it again. No, he didn't play knight d5. There is something a bit more direct. There's something a bit more direct. Can you protect your rook whilst you attacking actually the attacking piece? Whilst you attack the queen? Yeah. What's that? Yeah. Thank you. Bishop? Yes. So you guys play like the chess legends. Bishop e7. It's a very good move. It attacks the queen on tempo. And I would assume that actually Koblenz thought that actually Mikhail is going to move the queen away. I mean, you're not crazy to give the queen up, right? I mean, you have to move the queen away. But actually, he got a lot of that. He got a magnificent, and from a human point of view, it's a very sharp reply here. Can you guys figure out something else apart from moving the queen to safety? Which I guess all normal humans would go for saving the queen, but you actually have another choice here. You actually have another choice here. Something stronger. Something very sharp. Yeah, takes the f6. E takes f6. It looks absolutely mad, right? It looks absolutely crazy. Oh my God! You would say this is nuts, right? E takes f6, and now obviously, black took back. I mean, black took the queen. Apologies. Bishop takes f3. That's exactly what he did. Bishop takes f3. Bishop takes f3. Let's look a little bit at the compensating idea here. After bishop takes f3, what's the threat? What are the threats on the board right now? After bishop takes f3. So you would say they lost the queen. That is true. But apart from losing the queen, I mean, there is something as a compensation working here. Bishop f3. Bishop takes f3. What are the threats? Can you highlight me the threats? Who didn't answer at all? Let me see. You answered. Have you answered? Yeah, maybe you answered well. Let's answer now.
Well, now a bishop takes rook.
Yeah, the bishop threatens take the rook on a8. That's correct. Threatens take on a8. What else? Yeah. And there's another little threat there. It's quite a. We need to keep in mind. We need to keep account of all the stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Threatens taking bishop. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So black reacted in a way to protect not losing the rook. So they pushed this pawn, to stop the bishop from attacking the rook, which sort of makes sense. But now it's perfectly equal at this stage, perfectly equal. And now Mikhail Tal plays another. So this is the kind of things when he played chess, he was considered like a wizard, like a magician. People actually were not very comfortable to looking at his gaze. The guy was hypnotic. So now he goes with a brilliant knight sacrifice, an absolute brilliant knight sacrifice, fellas. Yes. Knight takes c6. Obviously attacks the queen, attacks the g7. All right, that's you can't just ignore it. All right, and this guy's still on freeze, so that bishop's still under attack. So they took back the pawn. Can you continue something which means attacking with tempo? Can you envisage? Can you find me a way, guys, that actually attacks with tempo? Look for forcing moves. Look for something that actually attacks the king, checks the king, and forces them to react to this. Okay, they can't just ignore it. Okay? Look for forcing moves, guys. Have you answered today? Come on, answer now. Now it's your moment. Forcing moves, come on. Yeah. Bishop h5. That checks the king. The black king is in check. They gotta move. Well, if you block it, I'm gonna take it back straight away. So after this, g6 being played. What's the normal stuff to do, Hal? I mean, don't look for ultra sophisticated. Just simple stuff to play. Very simple stuff to play. Just take on g6. Just take on g6. All right. Now the king is in trouble. Okay, the black king is in trouble. They gotta move. So they moved over to f8. Okay, they moved to f8. Now you take the bishop with check. They took with check. The king is in check now. They gotta move. Can't move. Can't move. They can only go g7 or g8. So now the king goes over to g7. What does that mean? That the rooks defend together the e8, so this guy can't. I mean, if you push the pawn, rook's going to have to take. He's going to get the queen here. All right. In other words, also the king attacks the bishop on g6. The queen attacks this guy, threatening check and fork, taking the bishop. Right? The queen takes check and the bishop as well. So you don't want to lose this guy. How do you respond to the threat queen wants to take f4, check the king, and fork the bishop? What can you play to stop this from happening? So you have a very simple move that saves the bishop and also defends f4, so that the queen is no longer able to take a check and unfork it. So what's the move here, guys? What's the move? White plays something very, very. Well, you could, in principle, give me something else. Give me something else. Also, that would potentially attack the queen later on. You play something that defends the f4, but also you would be able to attack the queen later on. What might be the thing? Come on. Involve the Yes, bingo. Bishop g3. Bishop g3, not just that defends f4, but it threatens to, if I am to give white one more move here, It's not legal, but I'm just saying, if I am to give white one more move here, what would be that move? Just curious, what would be the move? So let's say I'm giving them one more. Yes. Say it again. Yes, exactly right. Pawn to F5, because the bishop would attack the queen on C7, right? So that would be. So now, black plays knight to F6, rook H to E1. Notice how now all the white pieces are actively participating and contributing. D4, D4 attacks the knight on C3. And now simply Tau ignores the last threat and he creates another one by taking with the rook on E6. Because the plan would be, after you pushing the F pawn to add more pressure on the pinned piece, which will be pinned by the bishop, as we're going to see very soon, guys. Takes the knight, B takes C3. Oops. And now give me the move. Tell me the move that we said we want to play. Tell me the move we said we want to play. What's the move? What is the move? The move that attacks the queen with tempo. And what is the, yep. Yes, you play the F5. The F5 attacks the queen. So you got to react to this. Queen goes on to B7. Also D7 possible. They went on to B7. What do you think they went on B7 for? I mean, I'm just curious. Do you think Koblenz just moved the queen randomly? They just moved the queen because they moved the queen? Why did they do it? Why did they move the queen to B7? What's the purpose? What's the thing? Who had an answer today? Oh, well, pretty much everybody. Here, let's start from this corner again. Tell me again. Who?
Is the queen kind of in line with it?
Yeah, what's the threat here? What's the threat? It's a checkmate on B2, right? Queen to B7, what's the capture, and there's a checkmate. That's it, because the king can't move on D2. It's impossible, right? So, D3, stopping the queen. Queen goes to D7. By the way, they could have played that one in the first place, but probably if you wanted to create a threat. Now, bishop plays on to E5. What does that do? Can you explain it, guys? Bishop to E5. It does do something very, very specific. Bishop to E5. What does that do? Bishop to E5 here. What does it do? Anyone? Yep. Say it again. Yeah, it adds more pressure on that pin piece, which is attacked how many times and who's attacking? What's the pin piece, first thing first? What is the pin piece? The knight is the pin piece. How many white pieces attack the black knight? Two. The bishop and the rook. They can't defend it. They can't get the rook on F8 because there is a pawn here on E7 with big back, so they can't do it. So now, unfortunately, they have to start dropping the pieces. Queen takes E6, removing the rook. Pawn takes queen. Bear with me a second. It's going to continue for a while. King takes D6. And rook to F. What does that mean? Rook to F. Tell me again, what does it do? Rook to F1. Rook to F1. What does that do, guys? Rook to F1. What does it do? Yeah, attacks the knight. Twice. They can't defend it, so they got an issue with that knight. Knight goes to E7. What do you play now? Because in the minute the knight moves from F6, there's something you can actually grab straight away. You can just get material from there straight away. What are you doing? Yes, you take the rook on H8. Absolutely. Bishop takes. And black's going to take back. Rook takes H8. And can you continue now, forcing them to either take a rook or perhaps you're going to promote? Can you try and force a sort of promotion here? What is the move you would consider to play your team? So have a look, relax your gaze on the board. Now, what do you think white can play here? Yes. Yeah, we got these two guys, and we would like to promote them in theory. How do we practically actually achieve this? It is achievable. Yes. Rook d8. It shields the pawn. It shields the pawn, so you might be able to push them up. Absolutely. If rook takes, by the way, what happens if knight takes? I'm just checking. If knight takes, what do you do? What do you play? If knight takes, you don't take. You actually get yourself to place, right? If rook takes, now you sort of have to. You have to. You take with promoting, of course. So that's queen. Knight takes back. Okay, let's not panic and let's finish up this one in style. Let's not panic. What do you play next, guys? So knight takes. Don't panic. What do you play next? Say it again. Yeah, pawn to e7. Excellent. Now you attacking that one. What is the only way for black to deal with this situation? There is only one response for them to give it here. They can't do anything else. There is just one way to play this. If you don't play the one correctly, you're going to get in deep trouble. It's not a night mode, by the way. It's not a night mode, guys. Yes. Yes, king to f7 has to be played because that's how you got over the e8 promoting square, or you protect the knight if you want to have pawn okay? All right. So, takes. You have to take it. King takes it. Tell me, please, why is white supposed to win in this position? Because after king to d1, king to f7, yeah, black resigned, but why? So I'm gonna put this one on the table a bit. Why is black resigning here? Why did black resign here? Why did Alexander Poland resign? Why? Why is that? Is it like losing? And if it's losing, why is it losing? Let's have a look. Put in your own words, your own understanding, guys. Why do you think black is resigning? Let's see. Have a look. Have a look. Yeah. See what?
Why is it one pawn up?
Well, there's a pawn majority here. The king will successfully attack the c3, the d5. They can't defend them, and there is a pawn majority on the d and h. Mr. Johansson, you can take the mobile, sir. Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you. I only use it only just to talk. That's fine. That's fine. Thank you, sir. Tomorrow I take my laptop. Thank you, sir. I forgot to take my laptop. I have to borrow. So let's have a look at this position here. Whatever black chooses to play, yes.
Well, it's now white's going to go to 3.
Yeah, of course.
Which means that they definitely take the pawn.
They will take the c3, and if black plays d4, you're going to take that one too. Yeah. It's just no defending ideas. If they try to move the king over, c3 is still going to be captured, right? So you're going to take the c3. There's nothing they can do. If the king tries to stop those pawns, you're actually going to grab this guy, and you have a pass one on the c5, right? So this guy's just going to go. So the black king is completely unable to stop him the c pawn and to dealing with those two guys here on the h and g file, respectively. Okay. So guys, give it a look when you're having some free time at home. Search up the Mikhail Tal's names, and if you go to Leechess, you're going to find a bunch of studies, including on my archive on leechess.org, and you're going to find Mikhail Tal's brilliant games over there. Do you know what we're going to do now? I'm going to play a game myself versus you. I'm going to be black, you guys are going to be white. You're going to decide as a team what you play, and I'm going to be trying to at least survive the first 15, 20 moves against you guys. So I'm going to set up the board now. You guys are strong and nice. You're a strong team here. I should be losing the game. I should be losing. And not mentioning you guys playing with white pieces. So you got the initiative, you call the shots. You guys tell me what you want to play. So let me put a piece on the table. And we're streaming live now on 5 channels. And I'm going to give Tony the link. I'm going to give Tony the links. And you can watch it later on. I mean, you can see yourself. Okay, no one sees you. Yeah, I'm on YouTube as well, on Twitch, on which one is it? Facebook. Facebook, I think. I don't know if I'm on Kick.com. I don't know, but definitely on those that I've said. So you guys gonna be white. I'm gonna be black. Okay. And you're gonna tell me what you want to play. And of course, you can advise each other secretly, more or less secretly. Yeah. Okay. All right, fellas. All right. So if you guys have to agree on this one, because I'm playing against you, you guys have to agree. You can secretly take decision, communicate me, plays the move. You guys want to be white? Have I missed the pawn? I missed the pawn. Apologies, guys. I missed the pawn. Apologies, guys. C4.
No, E4.
Come on, guys. You gotta decide.
E4.
E4. Okay, E4. I means I'm already in trouble. So I'm gonna play C5. I hope we're not gonna play what Tal played against Koblenz.
Knight F3.
Okay, kids wanna play knight F3 against.
We're not kids.
Well, you are the
Young men.
okay.
Young.
You are someone's kid, so you are kids. I'm someone else's kid, so I am kid. Someone's kid. Okay, what do I play? It's my turn.
That
Right?
means we're all kids. So
Guys, relax, sit down. Sit down, relax.
Yeah.
Okay. Knight C6. Classically. Of course you've seen it. All right. Okay, man. It's your turn now. Think about this one. You got a plethora of way to continue on this way. Easy, fella. Sit down, man. Sit down. Sit down. You play the Aladdin idea. You play the C3 because you want to push the D4. At least I know what you want to do. At least I know what you want to do. Okay, okay, cool. I guess I'm going to play D6 for now. Modest, but take your time, take your time, take your time, think about it. Take your time. Man, don't.
No.
Say it again.
No.
Say it again, man. Yeah.
We're going D3.
You go D3.
No.
Is this your decision?
D4.
D4. D4 makes sense.
D4.
D4 makes sense. D3, you could play D3. It's not the most ambitious. D4 is actually an expensive move. Yeah, sit down, sit down, sit down. Okay, so I'm going to take them. Come on, guys.
We take
Sit down.
We take with the knight.
With the what?
No, yeah, knight with the knight.
You take with a knight.
Knight.
Okay, you don't want to take with a pawn. You want to take with a knight. So have you just? Okay, you want to take with a knight. I think you should have taken with the pawn, yeah. I think you should have taken with the pawn. Okay, you took. Okay, not the end of the world, though. Not the end of the world, but you should have taken with the pawn so that you maintain your dominance in the middle of the board with two connected pawns on side. Okay, I'm gonna go E5 now. I'm attacking your knight. It's not a catastrophe. Okay, I play D5. I attack the knight on D4. You've got some very good options to consider now.
Okay, knight F5.
What? Knight F5.
Yeah. Knight F5.
Okay. Give it another thought. So you want to play knight F5?
You just not we take the knight.
Knight F5.
Yeah.
Okay. So, knight F5.
Let's move on.
Now, knight F5 that you play, it keeps an eye on my G7, so I can't develop my bishop, because if I develop my bishop, we're going to take G7. But what I could definitely look into is attacking and trading off the knight straight away. So I'll play now bishop to C8, taking this guy straight away. I think it's good to remove. I think it's good to remove.
Murder the bishop.
I think you.
Yes.
What are you talking about? I've got 4 minor pieces. You have to take back. You have to take back. You have to take back on that part. Okay, now I have to develop it. So let me see.
Pawn to H4.
Yeah, knight F6.
Pawn to H4.
Come on. Guys, why don't you sit down and relax? Sit down and relax. We're not going anywhere. You're not going to lose any train coming now. You're not going to lose the train or something. Just sit down, relax. Which one is it? What do you play? You play bishop g5, you make a pin. You make a pin, you develop also off the starting square. Hello there, sir. I'm not sure about this one. They're asking about a loser. But I don't know. Probably so there's workers in. Okay. Yeah.
Just go to there and then to the left.
Yeah. The future World Chess Champion is here. The future World Chess Champion is right here. Okay, so come on, guys, tell me what you play here. Do some development move. What? Man, that guy behind you doesn't see nothing. Guys, why don't you sit down for now? Again, just sit down, move the chair closer if needed to. Okay. Just don't move the tripod. Yeah, just pull your chairs closer. Okay. Relax. Think about this one. Let's relax. So tell me what you want. Relax. Okay, what do you play? Say it again. Bishop D3. Okay, that's developing move. Develop the bishop, I guess. It stops my queen from going to b6. If I ever had planned to go queen b6, I can't do it because of the bishop on e3. So I can't play that. I can't play it. I definitely can't play it. I'm going to play something very simple. I think I'm going to play bishop e7. Knight d2. Okay, that's a developing move. Knight to d2. I understand this. Now, what on earth am I supposed to play? I've got a few ideas. No one is attacking my guy. I'm going to do something in terms of king security, king safety. I'm going to castle the king. I'm going to castle the king. It's up to you guys. Think about it. Give it a thought. Give it a thought. Give it a thought. Yeah, sack the queen, absolutely. Yeah. I would be happy, yeah. I can win. Give it some thought. Have you finished the development? Is the king safe? Easy with the tripod. Okay, so g4, pawn to g4. Pawn to g4. Yeah, that's something I have to tell.
It's called a g5. What did I say?
Should I play? I'm thinking this. Okay, the guy's
My flesh looks like
I guess I'm gonna do it. Not sure. It doesn't look very good, but then again. Okay, d6 to d5. Maybe a knight.
And then you
You want to go h4? So we go h4, guys, with this?
No.
Yes.
G5.
Okay.
This is H4. This is G5. I say H4.
Yeah, h4.
D5.
H4. H4.
Okay, you guys voted democratically upon the next move you want to play, right?
H4.
H4. Fair enough. Fair enough. H4. Yeah. Well, you guys haven't finished the development yet. Right, the king is in the center. I know you guys are planning on pushing the G pawn. Some of you wanted to play the G pawn also earlier. So I'm fully aware you're gonna march on with the G and H pawn. So I have to strike in the center. So if you play this, I'll have to try to make use of my connected middle central pawns, right? So I'm gonna have to play those ones. At least I hope so. So I'm gonna move with this guy already hitting the bishop on E3. So that's the best I can think of currently. I don't have any other plan, guys. So going for the bishop. Let me just modulate the camera a little bit here. Yeah, I think it's fine. I think it's fine. So you guys decide on what to play. Yeah, I'm gonna show you, man. It's Soren chess coach. You go on YouTube, you're gonna find it. So pawn takes, right? Pawn takes CD. CD. Okay, CD, CD, CD. Okay, now what am I playing? Now I could take with a knight. I could take with a pawn. If I take with a pawn, I'm keeping the pressure on that guy. But also, if I take with a knight, it's interesting. It's interesting. Interesting. It is interesting. Yeah, let me take
Bishop king.
Bishop takes, right?
We can then
Oh, first thing first. Slow down. You may have a decision. Have a look. And then you can know what you want to play. Take your time. Take your time. Take your time. Bishop what? Bishop G5. Give us some thought, yeah?
Fine. If we go F, bishop F4. If we go F, bishop F4, then you go
Give me some time, fellas. Look at this one. Think carefully. Then decide what you want to play. What's for sure is that my pawn on D4 attacks the bishop on E3. That's for sure. So I do attack the bishop on E3. So what do you play now? What do you move the bishop down? Bishop F4. Bishop F4, Bishop G5. Okay. Bishop F4. Okay, you move the bishop out of danger. I can see that. I can see that. Definitely, I can see that. Rook F E8. The reason I play the move is because you haven't castled your king. You haven't finished the development. I fully appreciate you want to go with the FGH pawns, which might be a challenge for me. But Rook F to E8 positioned itself on the same file with the king. So have a look. Think about this one. Give it a couple of seconds.
Queen F3. Queen F3. Okay, put your hand up again. Queen F3. Queen F3, guys. Queen F3. Queen F3.
Queen F3, people?
Yeah.
You want to play the Queen to F3, I understand.
Yes.
Queen F3. Okay, Queen F3. Queen had moved to F3. I see. So if I decide something, I gotta decide it right now. Right? Very no. Okay. All right, I'm going to play a move that checks the king. I'm going to play bishop to b4, and this is a check from the black rook on e8. The black rook on e8 checks the king on e1.
Bishop
So,
E2.
bishop what?
E2.
Bishop e2. You want to block with the light square white bishop, right? So I'm asking you again, fellas, what's the most? Think about. Sorry, say it again. Bishop E2, right? I understand. Bishop E2, you block the check from the rook 28. I get it. Now let me think for a second. Very interesting. But
next week,
yeah, next move castle. But before you do that, I think I'm going to increase a little bit the attack on the piece with this. D3. I put pressure on the pin piece. The pin piece being the bishop on E2, which is now pinned.
Bishop take, we take.
Bishop can't take, guys, because it's pinned.
If we take, then knight.
Bishop can't move. It's pinned by the king, so can't really take with the bishop. Can't really take with the bishop. Bishop E3. All right. That bishop is compromised, guys. The bishop on E2 is compromised. And I think the stuff you did was not custody your piece when you had the chance. And you push those F, G pawns unnecessarily. So whatever you're blocking with, that bishop's going to be taken anyway. I'm going to take it, the bishop. So decide what you want to go. You either block furthermore, or you castle king, or it's up to you guys.
Queen takes 14. The black.
So you want to play bishop c7? You sure? Okay, bishop. So I'm asking you again. You guys want to play bishop c7?
Yeah.
Bishop e3. Yeah, bishop e3. You don't know how you decide to play, guys. Well, bishop c7, you attack the queen. The thing is, I'm going to take on e2 regardless. So you can go bishop c7, you deflect my queen away. You might be able to take this guy with the queen, though, not with the bishop, because the rook pins it anyway. Bishop e3. Bishop e3. Okay, I'm taking the bishop anyway.
Okay, queen takes
e2. I get it. Queen takes e2. So you took the pawn now. I understand. Fine, fair enough. I understand now. Okay, let's. What I normally do when I'm having some advantage is just starting to trading off everything. So now I'm going to take on d2 with check. Bishop takes d2, checks the king. You take back with d. Take with what? You take with the queen? Well, if you take with the bishop, I think my rook's going to take the queen. You take with the queen, guys. You take with the queen. Okay, queen takes. I'm going to tell you what went wrong. Actually, you're going to be able to see the game later on yourself online because this game will be uploaded anyway. I mean, it is live anyway, so they could go back and revisit on the software and something. We could do later on. Hey, Tony, you could say hello, man. So this is my colleague here, Mr. Tony Johansson. You're too tall, man. Yeah, so Tony Johansson here from Southwest London camp, doing this morning here. Okay.
This is live?
It's live,
It's
sir.
live,
It's live. Yeah. Maybe just two now. Maybe just 2 viewers. or maybe more than two. Just a handful of
So,
years.
coach,
Yes.
should we think about having a short break before we play
Yes.
some game? Do you want to continue the game?
I'll finish up this game with the boys here. So let's finish up this game.
Take that aside. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'll take them out. Guys, you wanna take a break or you wanna finish up this game? Yeah. Okay, let's finish up this. Absolutely. So you guys come back to the plate. When I normally do here, now you're gonna have to take back the plate. Now you're gonna have to take back. You're gonna have to take back the king. The bishop still can't take because it's thin. You have to take it. 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 Okay. Now I've got this guy that I can pick up for free. I got 30 checks that I might play, so you just wait for the checks. Rook AD8 checks the game. Now the king has to move, I guess. I guess you're not gonna block or anything. King C2. King C2. All right, let me think. I think I'm gonna take this guy here. Knight takes on G4. I really want to trade off everything. So at this stage now, black has 2 bricks and 1 extra minor piece.
Rook G1.
No, bishop D5. Bishop D5.
Bishop G5 attacks my rook indeed. Probably I would be forced to block it with a pawn or something.
Rook G1. Yeah, Rook G1 is a
You're
good
gonna play
move.
rook G1. Attacks my knight. I'll tell you. Yeah, in the minute you actually given me that piece on the E file, the things went south very quickly.
Bishop G1.
Bishop G5.
A7.
Bishop A7. You want to grab my pawn here, but it's defended by the knight on C6. You think I'm going to take back? Yeah, you're a minor piece down, so that's pretty much mission impossible now for white, honestly. You could play rook G. I'm going to trade off. I'm going to keep up the trade. You're going to think I'm going to win another one. Bishop G5. Bishop G5 attacks my rook and forces me to either move the rook, maybe checking here, grabbing another guy. Well, I can't move here because you got a bishop. But what I could do is try this. I think actually that's the most normal thing to play here. F7 to F6. Blocks the attack from the bishop. And now the bishop on G5 has to go somewhere. That bishop has to play somewhere.
You could trade rooks.
You can what?
Trade rooks.
Well, I'm attacking your bishop, by the way, with the pawn. Well, what do you mean? If you take on F6, I'll take back on F6 straight away. What do you mean? Well, if you took the pawn, you're already in material damage. So you could go
Rook G1. You know G1 though. G1.
rook G1. I understand. Now I really want to simplify stuff, so I'm going to take your bishop. You're going to take my knight. I'm pretty sure you're going to take my knight. I'm very sure you're going to take my knight. And that's what I have here. So let me think what I'm doing next. Yeah, I could do a couple of things. I could do a couple of things here. So let me think a little bit. I could do some checks. Yeah, that's for sure. So let me just go for a check. So rook F2, that checks the king. Up meaning you probably want to go B3 or C3. Which one is what does up mean? C3 or B3? What does it? So you want to go? Right. So you go C3.
No, C3 knight check.
See what?
C3 then knight E4.
So you guys tell me what's your decision then? Because you king to B3. Okay, king to B3 then.
I mean C3 then.
All right. I think I'm going to go with further checks now. Going to make further checks here. All right. No, I understand. I get it. I get it. C4. Yeah, I get it.
Knight check.
Knight
C5.
Well, it's my turn.
Yeah, exactly.
It's my turn
So
now.
you do
It's
knight
my
check
turn
C5.
now.
Yeah,
that's okay.
knight check C5.
And then we take his.
No, I'm not going to play knight e5. Knight e5 is check, but you take a rook while still attacking another one. So knight e5, I don't like it. I don't like knight to e5. So it's not a great move, but at least I'm going to play rook over to f3.
Anyway.
Yeah, but yeah. So the decision was rook to f3. Rook to f3. Move away now.
Move
Something.
knight. No, move rook g5. Take the pawn. Take the pawn.
You take the pawn.
It's
over.
the only thing we can do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
rook to g5. You're taking the pawn.
Because
I get it. I get it. No, I
because
get it.
then if we
Okay,
do pawn
rook takes
f6,
f2 now.
we move.
Guys, sit down, man. Sit down.
Six.
Slow down.
Pawn f6.
Sit down. All right, we're gonna take a break after this game is finished. So come on, tell me your next move.
Pawn f6.
Pawn f6. I get it. Pawn f6. Let me just take this guy like this. Rook takes f6. I couldn't have taken with the pawn anyway because the pawn on g6 is pinned by the white rook on g5, so I can't really. I don't think I'm going to make a stalemate. You can play hoping for a stalemate, but I don't think I'm going to do a stalemate today, fellas. So up to you now. What do you play? Say it again. The rook on A, you want to play it on G? So you can make the battery on the G. I get it. I get it. I understand it. I understand. Sorry,
E1.
rook E1. You want to play it here? Right. I understand. Okay. Right. I see this. Okay. Cool. Okay. Let's go. Maybe with another check here.
I don't want any more checks. I don't want any more.
D3. D3.
Oh, yeah.
You're gonna go king D5.
So king D5. C3.
Say it again.
King D5.
Right. You want to play king D5. Okay.
I don't want anyone.
Guys, behavior, please. Let's do a check here first thing first. You're in check, man. The king is in check now. Before you go E8 or anything, the king is in check.
How can you move D5?
You're in check.
C5.
Well, you've got E6 available indeed. Are you happy with E6? Well, you can go E6 if you want to.
No, rook is blocked. Rook is blocked. C5. She's got E5.
F6 or 6. C5 or E6.
C5 or E6? Come on, guys. You've got to decide, man. You got to decide. Where do you go?
Rook F6.
Rook F6. What? It's king's turn, man. You are in check. The king is in. So where do you go with the king?
E6. If we go to mate, he goes F6 and it's mate. Yeah. If we go F6, he goes. Sorry, E6. He goes F6.
I do.
We go king C5.
You go E6. I want to go F6. Yeah.
But then we go C5. C5.
Okay, C5 then. C5 then. That's fine. Makes sense. It makes sense. It makes sense. Now I'm going to go with the check on C2 though. Rook C2 check. Yeah, there's only one move. It's B5, right? So where do you want to go? You go B5.
It's a mate.
Yeah. And what about this guy here?
Yes.
Checkmate.
Can't
Can't move. Can't move. Can't move. Can't take. Can't take.
Guys,
Can't
lost.
move noise. Can't move here. So let me tell you something. You move the F and G pawn way too prematurely, and you've neglected the king's safety. You haven't castled your king. So you went with the F, G, H. If you remember, you guys debating, and your king was right in the very middle. So you're supposed to castle that king. If you had castled your king, you wouldn't have gotten into this. All right? So later on, guys, you could check the games online. We're going to take a break now. We're going to go outside where Tony went with the other kids. I'm going to come back for a tournament. All right, guys, you can take a break now. Go outside. I'm going to, what? Yeah, you're going to play tournament today, right? You're going to play official tournament. Well, it's going to be another round anyway, so I think it's going to be 2 rounds. Yeah, you're going to have a long game. And we're going to do analysis anyway. So we'll be analyzing.
Usually we only do like 20 minutes.
Let's go outside, guys, for the time being. All right, pick up your, get your snack or anything. Finish my coffee. That's a disaster. What do I drink? All right. So, yeah, we're gonna be back with the remainder of the chess cam here and the games and all. What? Yeah, of course you can. Of course you can. Of course you can stay here. Yeah, you can stay here, fellas. That's all right, man. So, okay.